Hey guys, I'm back with another candle review, and this time around it's for the 14.5 ounce 3-wick pumpkin nut butter candle from Bath & Body Works, part of the online-only member-exclusive limited edition candle drop. The notes on this read: pumpkin spice, creamy nut butter, and a sprinkle of cinnamon. And yeah, so I think this candle is going to be one of those candles where the naming of it sets this candle up for failure in the sense that it doesn't really smell like what the name is advertising. And you imagine something like really nutty and crunchy and maybe even salty in the way of like pumpkin peanut brittle or roasted pumpkin butter or like a peanut butter type of fragrance. That's totally not the case with this fragrance. And so because of the disconnect of the name and what you expect and what you actually get, I think people are going to really not enjoy this candle or be disappointed from the expectation that Bath & Body Works sets based on the naming, and like disappointment, understandably so. And so I was, even when I smelled it, I was just kind of like, this is very much like a generic pumpkin spice fragrance. And I was really not getting nut butter and nothing at all in the realm of pumpkin peanut brittle is what this candle is. And then so I was like, okay, well, I've encountered this many times before in my long candle reviewing career, that let me try to set aside the name and the concept and the notes on it and see if I can appreciate this fragrance just on the fragrance itself. And with that approach, I have actually been able to enjoy this fragrance and actually been really enjoying it and liking it. It's not groundbreaking, it's not super unique. Does it smell like nut butter or anything like peanutty or nutty or almondy or salty or crunchy? Absolutely not. But if you take all that away and just appreciate it as a kind of like a basic, really creamy, smooth pumpkin spice fragrance, for that it's actually quite nice. I would say maybe like pumpkin pudding or even like pumpkin milkshake or some kind of like pumpkin cream fragrance. If you were to like rename it that and then going with the expectation of that, this would kind of serve that purpose. And so basically what you get is a rather generic but nice and well executed pumpkin spice fragrance that's not too far off from your usual pumpkin carving, pumpkin patch, pumpkin clove, sweet cinnamon pumpkin type of fragrance. If you like those type of basic pumpkin spice fragrances, I think you'll also enjoy this one. It's the usual kind of like ginger, clove, cinnamon, usual blend that you get in pumpkin spice. But what this does is it actually like takes that, and without it being a little bit too on the more like heavy, spicy, almost that type of like craft store essence. I mean, this still kind of goes in that route, but it takes the edge off of that sort of like craft store red hot cinnamon or super spicy like cinnamon broomstick type of feel that you get with a lot of pumpkin spice fragrances. It kind of tones that down with like this immense amount of like creamy gooiness to it that kind of reminds me of like pudding or a milkshake or some kind of something with a very creamy, smooth consistency is what I get for this. It's not quite like pumpkin puree or pumpkin pie filling in the way like sweet cinnamon pumpkin does. It's a little bit more lighthearted and creamy in like a pudding or milkshake type of way. And that's kind of what I get from this, which reminds me there was a pumpkin mint milkshake fragrance at one point, but it was a test fragrance and I only smelled it very, very shortly in passing, that I can't necessarily compare it to that. But think of some type of like creaminess in that type of like food category is what I get from it. And like long story short, it's just like a really like smooth, creamy, sweet pumpkin spice fragrance that's just like super appropriate if you just want like a basic, pleasant, non-offensive pumpkin spice fragrance going on in your house. And because the throw in the performance on it has been so great too, that I've actually just been kind of like looking forward to burning it. I'm like, if I just don't want anything too fancy, let me just burn this one and call it a day. And that's kind of what I've been doing. When it warms up, there's a little bit of like a nutty roastiness to it, but you know how a lot of Bath and Body Works candles tend to just get like a sort of warm roastiness just because it's like burning and there's 3 wicks and so it gets hot. So I don't really know if I can attribute it to the character of the fragrance or rather not it's just like the burning warmth that makes it a little bit more nutty and roasty. But there's a little bit chill in the background, but still not to the point that I would expect it to be like a peanut butter or something salty or roasty like pumpkin peanut brittle. So there's that. I would say the takeaway from this is it's kind of like manage your expectations and don't really think this is a pumpkin nut butter fragrance, but just some kind of really pleasant, creamy, smooth pumpkin spice fragrance. I believe this is actually a 5th burn. I've just been going to town with this candle. It just performs so great. It has a thick rope-like wicks. It pulls out in no time. It has a great, beautiful throw. It's super pleasant. It just like completely envelops the room with this like creamy pumpkin spice fragrance. I would say like a good at least 8. There was one day where it was going in, it's actually almost too strong, that I would have put it almost in the 8.5, like 9 category. Cause it was like one day it was going for like maybe an Auburn. I was like, whoa, this is actually a little bit too much today. So I blew it out, but like I'm still not complaining about how strong it is. I would still rather have a strong candle than one that I can't smell. So yeah, this is definitely in the strong category. And it's not like excessively sooting or getting too murky or nasty. So like totally good on the performance on this one. Overall, I was disappointed that this wasn't more of a unique, actual like nutty fragrance in the realm of the fragrances that I've just talked about. And so I was bummed about that. But once I was able to put all that aside and just kind of take this at face value as a very creamy, smooth pumpkin spice fragrance, that's kind of like in the lineup along with my usual sweet cinnamon pumpkins and pumpkin carving. If I see it as one of those candles and I'm like, okay, this is nice, it throws well and performs well, so like I'm good to go. So I'll probably just keep the second one just because it is kind of pleasant, but it wouldn't be something that I necessarily need to like hoard or stock up on, and certainly nothing any like unique that I would put in like a top whatever category. But it's pleasant as it exists here, so it is what it is. So thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.